Hello, my divine souls. Welcome to Spiritual Bloom, where we bloom within our consciousness, with your spiritual guide and twin flame coach Neha. In today's episode, we will be talking about a very significant angel number, which is 698, 986, or 896. And what is the importance of this number? We will also understand that when we see these angel numbers, how does it help you to release the third parties, both from the side of the divine masculine and divine feminine? So if you have been repeatedly seeing angel numbers 698 or 869 or 986, especially during a period of separation, confusion, or challenges involving third parties in your twin flame connection, this is not a coincidence, because the universe communicates through signs, synchronicities, and numbers. And these numbers, they carry a powerful message about endings, karmic completion, spiritual maturity, and the restoration of divine order. Now, for many twins, seeing these numbers, especially 698, signals that a cycle involving third party energy is approaching its conclusion. Now, whether that third party is a romantic partner, family influence, friends, social obligations, career distractions, emotional baggage, or an old karmic attachment, this number appears when divine timing is orchestrating a release. Now, in twin flame journey, anything that diverts either the counterpart from their spiritual growth and authentic alignment can function as a third party energy, meaning the third party energy does not necessarily have to be only a romantic partner, another person. It can be anything that I have mentioned, like family influences, situations, circumstances, obligations. So, these angel numbers, they announce that these misaligned energies are being brought to completion so that a person can emerge into a higher self. Now, let's break down the number 6, 9, and 8. Now, to fully understand this, we must examine the individual energies within the number. Each number carries a certain significant energy and a different meaning. Now, the energy number 6, it resonates with relationships, family, love and nurturing, domestic family situations, emotional burden, healing and balance. Now, in this connection, in this divine journey, the 6 often appears when relationship dynamics are under divine review, meaning if both the counterpart are going smoothly or one of them is being stubborn or not working on themselves, so the universe keeps on reviewing the situation, and this situation is called the divine review. You are under a review. So it asks the counterparts that what relationships are healthy, which of the connections supports growth, and which attachments have become burden. Now they start questioning themselves when they come under this review, that which relationships are healthy, like around them, parents, siblings, friends, or colleagues. They start filtering out these relationships and they try to understand the dynamic deeply, whether these relationships are really contributing to their growth or it's degrading their life by being a burden, or these are just becoming an attachment, a burden, a responsibility, a duty, that because I am the son or daughter of so and so, therefore no matter how badly they treat me, I have to fulfill their responsibility. So they are trying to filter that out. They are trying to think more deeply. They are trying to figure out things which they have been ignoring for a very long time, or these questions never came into their mind. Now these questions, they start feeling more important. Why? Because they are breaking themselves from the old cycles and the old burdens. Therefore, these relationships which do not support them, which is a burden, which is just a duty, like a routine, but it has no outcome, it is not healthy, they're trying to filter and draw strong boundaries if required in such situations. So the number 6, it reminds us that love must be aligned with truth, meaning it should be aligned with truth, honesty, reciprocation. It's not that just one person is giving, pouring, but the family members or friends, colleagues, even the counterpart, they are not reciprocating the way that they should have been reciprocating their love, their attention, their compassionate heart. They are not reciprocating. So that helps the counterpart to figure out which relationships are true, which relationships are worth investing, and which relationships should be kept, and with whom to draw strong boundaries. Now let's come to the energy number 9. The number 9 represents endings, spiritual wisdom, completion, karma resolution, soul evolution, and divine closure. So whenever 9 appears, it means that a chapter is ending. Your old chapter is ending. So 9 frequently appears when karmic contracts are ending. Your lessons have been learned, your cycle of sufferings are completing, and emotional debts are being balanced. So you usually see these number 9 when you are on the verge of ending a karmic contract. Now that karmic contract can be a marriage, a relationship, it can be a death of a family member who was burdening you with responsibilities or troubling you for a very long time, death of anyone around you whose energy felt burdensome. Then it can be ending of a marriage, ending of relationships, and it means that you have learned your lessons. You have learned your lessons through your tests and trials, through your pain. Therefore all the cycles of sufferings are ending. Your painful days, your heartbreaking days are coming to an end, because these energy through your emotions, through your inner work, are being balanced. The universe is trying to say you through number 9 that what no longer serves your highest good cannot continue indefinitely. Just like relationships in number 6, similarly in number 9, situations or anything which does not support you in your evolution, those things can no longer stay. So you have to continue, you have to overgrow or come out of that situation. Now the number 8 symbolizes what? It symbolizes power, abundance, divine justice, infinite cycles, and manifestation. So as we all know, the number 8, when we twist it, it resembles the infinity symbol. So the 8 often indicates energetic balancing. That means that infinity also symbolizes yin and yang. Like I have told you in a previous episode about what does yin and yang mean. You can go and watch it. So it is an energetic balance. Your yin and yang is being balanced. It means that the return of what was previously blocked, meaning any relationship, career path, in things which you have been working so hard over the years, but there's no outcome, no success, there was a blockage that is going to return because you have cleared your karmic cycles, you have cleared your debts. So now that cycle is again returning, but in a better way. Now when you invest your energy, or you work I will not say work little bit, but even if you work nicely, honestly, it is going to work in your favor. That career path which you have forgotten long time ago because you probably got fed up working on it, or that relationship which you probably given up on, you are tired and fed up, that is going to return because that timing was not right, because you yourself, you were stuck in a karmic cycle. So now it returns because you are free from those karmic cycles, and you can invest nicely, smartly, and it is also going to work in your favor. It was previously blocked for a reason. It was previously blocked because you are not energetically active or ready to receive it. And there is material and spiritual alignment also when you see the number 8. Means if you have been going through financial debts or unemployment or anything as such, along with your spiritual alignment through your inner work, you also come into alignment with the material world, meaning you will become abundant, you will become successful. Slowly yet gradually, the paths are going to open for you. So the number 8 confirms that divine justice is active, and the universe is always watching over you, observing your actions, your karma, and nothing is forgotten because everything is being balanced by the universe. Now let's understand that the combined message of 698, what does it has to do with this journey, and why is it very 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 important at a certain age, at a certain stage of your ascension. Because an emotionally significant relationship cycle is reaching karmic completion, okay, so that divine balance and abundance can be restored. Not just divine balance, even abundance, material abundance, success can be restored. So when you start seeing this number 698, remember that a karmic cycle is coming to an end, all your suffering is coming to an end, and there is divine balance and divine justice, so that you can align with the universe spiritually, mentally, financially, and emotionally. So in this dynamic, this often points towards the dismantling of third party interference. Now listen to this very carefully. The number of 698 appears in your journey only when you have ascended properly, when you have done your inner work properly, and you have no more that grief, sadness, resentment towards your counterpart, neither you are chasing them, you are balanced in your own energy. Then only you start seeing these numbers. Otherwise don't keep on looking or searching for these numbers forcefully. It will only come to you when you have aligned and balanced with your energies, and you're no longer chasing this journey, you are no longer chasing your counterpart. Now this number, it just does not give you material success or stability or balance of energies. It also brings the third party situation into balance, meaning the third party is going to exit your life very soon. Now the sequence reveals a progression. 6 meaning relationship situation, that means your situation with your counterpart, and if there is any third party, work dynamic, family situations. 9 means completion of the lesson. The lesson that you were supposed to learn is almost on the verge of completion. And 8, restoration of balance and manifestation. Like I told you, you will be able to balance your energy, you will not be running around or chasing this connection or this journey, and you will have immense power of manifestation, meaning you can manifest literal material abundance or whatever you want in your life, or you have a certain focus or goal, you will be able to manifest once you reach this stage when you start seeing the number 698. So this is a divine sequencing and divine justice from the universe. Now, why did I mention specifically that 698 means regarding third parties only? It includes manifestation, it includes material abundance, it also includes balancing of energies, but at the same time, it concerns the release of the third party energies. Because many twin flames, they become discouraged when they see their counterpart involved somewhere else. But the universe permit these situations temporarily because they facilitate your evolution so that you evolve. That's why these third party dynamics are brought into the scenario, and also because the counterpart has to overcome and finish their karmic cycles. But this angel number suggests that the purpose of the interference is nearing completion, because the lesson has been learned, the cycle has run its course, and the soul contract connected to that interference is ending. Meaning, the soul contract of your counterpart with that karmic person, or that third party, or the third party situation, workplace, friends, family, romantic partner is ending, because they have also completed a cycle. They have also done the inner work, they went through highs and lows, they learned their lessons. Now, if your twin is involved with another romantic partner, this number can indicate that the karmic lesson is concluding. The illusions are dissolving, they come into reality, they start accepting this journey, they start accepting their counterpart. The truth becomes impossible for the divine counterpart to ignore. The emotional dissatisfaction surfaces, and the divine timing is at its play because it accelerates change. And since the karmic lesson is concluding, the third parties exit from their life. Now, when we say romantic third parties, here it can be that a relationship will end, a person may go through divorce, or if you have been in separation for a very long time, but there was no closure from both the sides, where you need to get a divorce or a separation, but there was no court orders, or even if the case was in the court, it has been there since a very long time, no action has been made, the other party is demanding money but you are not able to pay, or something like that. That will suddenly change, that dynamic will suddenly change, and within no matter of time you'll see yourself, you're free from that relationship, from that marriage. It's ending, it's done, and it's over, because when the divine timing is at play, it does not wait. It waits only till the time you don't learn your lessons, you don't pay off your karmic debts. It waits only till then. After that, it plays its role, meaning it accelerates your growth, it accelerates all that karmic cycle baggage which has to end. So you'll see that separation process, divorce process is starting to speed up, and it ends. So, but this does not guarantee an immediate breakup. It takes time. Meaning, like, suppose if you were waiting since the last 3-4 years, suddenly in few months you'll realize that it is progressing, that divorce is progressing, that relationship is no longer there. So you for a closure, you tell the other person, you confess that this is not working. So slowly but gradually it works, but it doesn't take that much time like how it used to previously. Now, the relationship may continue physically for a time, while first it ends spiritually. It ends spiritually, then it ends physically in this 3D. So the 698 often appears during this transition when the romantic third parties are being released. Now, family and social third parties. As we all know, sometimes the third party is not just romantic. It can be family pressure, religious expectations, cultural beliefs, fear of judgment, and community influence. So these external forces can prevent a twin from fully embracing their spiritual truth. Now, when the 698 appears, these influences are being challenged, because the soul begins asking itself that, am I living according to my truth? or according to someone else's expectations. And when these questions come to the mind, eventually authentic alignment becomes stronger than external pressure. Those pressure which mattered previously does not matter to you anymore, because you start living life on your own terms. I told you, this inner work, this growth, this twin flame journey changes you as a person. By the time you reach a certain ascension period, you become a different personality, a completely different person. So external validation, people's pressure, society's pressure doesn't matter to you anymore. You don't care. What matters to you is your inner peace, your well-being, your balanced energies, your spiritual growth, and your material financial abundance. That's it. Now we'll talk about internal third parties. This is overlooked. People, they like to talk about third parties. Even in my videos, I've seen the algorithm. Whenever I post videos on the third parties, who are third parties, or rise of the divine masculine, divine feminine, these energy updates, people are so excited to see these videos. I get so much views, comments. It surprises me. But when it comes to learning, nobody wants to learn. Why? Because they don't want to do the inner work. They don't want to face their truth, their reality. But they are so excited and keen to know about the energy update. Wow, this is what is delaying your union. Do you know that? A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Have you heard about it? That is what it happens in a twin journey. When you don't want to learn, when you don't want to gain wisdom, knowledge, but you just want to jump from the cliff, thinking that you can swim. But at the end of the day, even you know that you can't swim. You don't know how to swim. So don't do that. Now, I'm not saying that only in my channel. If you come across any person who are authentic, who have an authentic YouTube channel, who are trying to help you by sharing their wisdom, their personal knowledge, or their journey, try to learn from it. Write it down. Make a journal. Make a separate notebook if you can't remember. Just by seeing energy updates, if you think that you are going to ascend in this journey, I'm so sorry, darling, you won't. So people, they don't like to learn. Knowledge is very rare nowadays, and there are very rare people who actually want to give it out without any selfish means, without exploiting the public. Otherwise, this twin flame journey, twin flame coach thing has become a business nowadays. So when you are getting free education, free knowledge, free wisdom, make use of it. Now, I'm not saying this because I want so many views in my videos. I'm not saying that. I am putting out my energy, my time, so that you people learn, so that you people don't go through those mistakes, or don't commit those mistakes which I did in my journey, so that you people reach your ascension process fast. You reach your inner union fast. But if you keep on thinking the entire day about the energy update, and you just focus on those energy updates instead of learning about what is inner work, how does it impact, how does this journey work, instead of focusing on that, if you keep on watching only energy updates, it's going to be very difficult for you, and you yourself, you are delaying your journey. You yourself, you are responsible for that. So don't blame others, or don't blame your counterpart for it. Okay, so anyway, so what is internal third parties? Now, this is very much overlooked. Like I told you, people think that third party is only a romantic partner. So the internal third party interference is your fear, ego, the self-doubt that you have, that whether you can do this or not, feeling unworthy, your past traumas. Your past traumas, but you don't want to heal it, and abandonment wounds. So many twins, they focus on external obstacles while they ignore internal ones. Just remember that as much as your internal obstacles are important, external is also important, and vice versa. Yet the greatest separation often exists within. Once that fear of separation is released from within, you will no longer be in fear of losing your counterpart. Because why? Separation is an illusion. That is your own trauma, your own fears, that is being projected. separation is absolutely an illusion. So this angel number frequently indicates that these internal barriers are reaching a point of resolution. That means you have done enough inner work, you have worked on your shadow side. That's why these internal barriers are reaching a point of resolution, and your old version of self is ending and a new consciousness is emerging. Now many people, they ask me that if two people are meant to be there, why the divine allows third parties? Why is it necessary for them to come? It's so unfair. I know it is very difficult truth in this journey, but remember that these third parties, they also have a role to play in your life, because they reveal your attachment patterns, fear of loss, dependency, and unhealed wounds. And without these lessons, reunion often would not be sustainable. The universe prioritizes evolution over immediate gratification. That's why you have to do your inner work and you have to evolve into your higher self. This number signals that the teaching phase is concluding. So 698, it signals that the teaching phase is concluding, meaning whatever lessons you had to learn, you have learned. And the soul has observed what it needed to learn in this journey. Now I will not say that teaching is over. We as humans, as divine souls, our learning, our ascension, our awakening, our healing will never end till the time we are in this 3D planet. But I'm talking about a certain space, a certain limitation, like you have healed or learned 50%, which is the maximum or the minimum, to balance your energies and to walk in a healthy way in this journey. So that 50% of healing, 50% of shadow work, 50% of teaching phase is completed. That's why you have ascended, and because you have ascended, your third parties are being removed from your life. You are manifesting abundance, success, your energies are balanced. You no longer chase the counterpart or this journey. There is balance everywhere, because you have ascended 50 to 60%, which is required to bring that balance into this journey. But as humans, as a soul, our learning, our healing, our teaching is never going to end till the time we are here. So now I'll tell you some of the signs that this 698 is manifesting in your twin flame connection. You will notice that you suddenly feel less obsessed. There is increased detachment. You love deeply, but the desperation starts disappearing. Secondly, secrets become exposed because deception becomes harder to maintain, and the universe begins revealing what was previously hidden. If there is any hidden truth, it will be exposed. You'll come to know about it. Then you have to expect sudden endings, shifts, relationships they dissolve, life circumstances it changes, and the situation that seemed permanent suddenly collapse. You get inner peace. Instead of chasing, you start trusting. Instead of forcing, you start allowing. And instead of fearing, you start surrendering to the divine. And this peace signals alignment with the divine timing, because you know that you are in balance, and whatever is supposed to be done will be done by the universe in the divine timing. Now, in this process, what does the divine masculine experience when you see this 698? Their pressure suddenly rises because they have to go through intense awakening, dissatisfaction with false stability, recognition of karmic cycles, ending of karmic cycle, third parties, internal conflict between comfort and truth. Because the soul demands authenticity, and what once felt acceptable to them, it no longer does. And this creates the condition that is necessary for transformation in the divine masculine's life, and that is how they start filtering people around them, their colleagues, their family members, the third parties, and they end relationships, toxic work patterns, work situations, work dynamics, change in careers which no longer serves them. The deepest meaning of 698 is not about a third party leaving. The deeper message is that anything that is not aligned with divine truth must eventually dissolve in the divine timing. So, this angel number is a message of relationship completion, karmic closure, and the restoration of divine balance. When the lesson is completed, the obstacle is no longer needed. So, if you really like this episode on the angel number 698 and its significance in releasing the third party in a twin flame dynamic, do like, share, subscribe, and comment on my channel. For any kind of personal guidance, you can WhatsApp or email me. My contact details have been given in the description box and mentioned in the video. I provide 10 to 15 minutes demo session before booking any guidance sessions with me. I thank you all for supporting my channel, for subscribing, for giving lovely comments, always supporting me. I'm so grateful to have you all as my soul family, and I wish and pray that your journey becomes easier with time, that you gain that balance which is required for you in this journey. And thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you again in another episode.